Tom Pace with the Talk of the Town, and today a very special legal segment on the Talk of the Town with the Honorable Judge Scott Crichton here, the First Judicial District in the state of Louisiana, right here in Caddo Parish in Shreveport, Louisiana. Judge Crichton enjoys a special degree of notoriety. Not only has he been a judge for 20 years, he was also a prosecutor. And so today we're going to talk about the Casey Anthony trial and her ultimate acquittal that occurred down in Florida. And what a case. I would call this the verdict heard round the world. The Talk of the Town, Tom Pace and Judge Scott Crichton. And was this truly, when this occurred, July 5th, and they announced that she was not guilty, there were gasps collectively around the world?
I think that's right. There was certainly a series of gasps in the Caddo courthouse. I actually watched, I turned on the TV, which I never do during the daytime, but I have it for news and that sort of thing, and I turned the TV on, and a couple of the administrative assistants gathered in my office to see the verdict, and we were all stunned, shocked, and a bit sickened.
You look at it, Judge Crichton, on the cover, it looked like it was a slam dunk from the get-go. It appeared that the duct tape and the chloroform and all of the forensic CSI evidence, but then all of a sudden it seemed to unravel?
Well, I'm not so sure if it unraveled or not. Maybe it could have been that it was a problem from the very beginning, from the very get-go. You have to keep in mind that the cause of death was never explained. There was no forensic pathologist, no coroner to say that she died by homicide for sure. We know of course she's dead, but we don't know by what means did she die. And I think that's a problem, particularly in retrospect. Now, as I was watching it and listening to the talking heads, and I suppose we're talking heads right now, but nevertheless, during all the course of the 6 weeks, I watched a little bit here and there, and I particularly watched it in the last 4 or 5 days, including the closing arguments, and it just appeared to me to be a clear case. Now, a circumstantial evidence case, but I have presided over hundreds of criminal cases and civil cases involving circumstantial evidence, and that is good, reliable evidence, but it must exclude every reasonable hypothesis of innocence. That's the legal standard. So this was indirect evidence and a very unusual scenario, but I think the biggest problem was there was no opinion by a coroner or by a forensic pathologist as to cause of death.
You had the body, the young girl's body, that was found much later, months later, and so the decomposition had reached a point that they really, according to the experts, couldn't really determine.
Well, that's right, and we had duct tape, which certainly is incriminating, certainly indicative of homicide, but yet there's no DNA. Despite the forensics in the case, we have no real forensic evaluation, nothing definite on the duct tape. Now, of course, it would have washed away due to moisture, and you can't pick up prints. And for a number of reasons, you can't pick up prints. Moisture being one, and decomposition being another. And it's understandable why there's no DNA and no fingerprint identification on the duct tape. But the problem is it's an unanswered question. There's nothing on the duct tape to link that to any one person. And we don't have a forensic pathologist or a coroner giving us the cause of death, and those are problems, serious problems, particularly in retrospect. I think there are other problems connected with the case as well.